The Midax software has been doing fleet and other payments in the C-store and at the dispenser, including loyalty, for almost 20 years. We interface in all the main POS in the industry, all the dispensers, and have our own pump control as a slave on grocery POS, as well as our own unattended fuel system. We support third-party open loop payment, in-house payment, and integrated loyalty. PFN, Private Fleet Network, is our latest generation of that program, and this is what I'd like to introduce to you today. The portal is made up into two, one for the jobber and one for the fleet customer. Let's log into the jobber portal. Here you'll notice that the jobber will be able to identify their assigned site stations, maintain their NAICS codes, create their customers, and run their reports. Once the customers have been established through the back office, both the jobber will be able to do maintenance on the customer sites and then provide access to the fleet customer to do their own maintenance pertaining to driver, vehicle, and programs. Here, within the two stores, they'll be able to modify and validate the site location and can edit that information. On the next table, with the product codes, they can check mark all the available product codes. Additionally, on the store status, by store, they can maintain specific product codes that are unique and outside of the standard NAICS codes, as well as the individual price of that product code, and also modify the price of that product code in real time. Where one store is one price, second store is another price. On the customer tab, this will provide you a list of all the fleet customers that are assigned to that jobber. You'll be able to drill down again, show the cards that were assigned to that specific fleet customer, validate their credit limit, edit their credit limit, add any additional cards, either by single card or range, whether the card gets assigned to a driver or vehicle, any specific PIN, or request a force PIN on their very first transaction. Additionally, you'll be able to see all the users for that particular fleet customer and be able to change their password if necessary. Back to the customers, you can add a new fleet customer, company name, DBA, site location, a user specific for that customer, email, username, and password. And third, set up a credit limit and description. If they choose to use ACH for billing purposes, here again you can enter their bank and routing information and account type for that process. So in review, the jobber can see their gas stations at any given time, set up their own NAICS codes, create their own customers and access to that database, reports, and log out. Once the fleet customer is created, they will have their own username and password. Here again, the fleet customer will be able to do maintenance on their cards, create their drivers, vehicle types, their program templates, as well as users. At any given time, this fleet customer can review a history of all their cards, including domestic transactions, foreign and remote transactions, simply by store ID. Or they can validate the transaction by the individual card. They can edit that card, disable the card, reassign the card, change driver, change the program. Also, change the PIN. If the card is assigned to a driver, they can add a new vehicle. If that particular card is assigned to a vehicle, they can add a new driver. So the driver tab allows you to do maintenance by driver ID. Vehicle tab allows you to create the vehicle ID specific to a license plate, year, make, and model of the vehicle. The program allows you to validate a pre-auth limit, a credit limit, any additional prompts, as well as a secondary ID. Fleet customer can delete and add their own programs specifically. Again, allow the NAICS codes, including time restrictions from a certain time or a certain day of the week. And now this particular program will have a time restriction. The users can maintain and change current user or simply add a new user. Going back to the card list, at any given time, you can select a card from the list or do a search. Here you can identify if they're a domestic or a foreign transaction. If the card is assigned to a vehicle, they'll be able to identify them by drivers. And if the driver needs some changes, we can modify their ID, name, and email. And simply log out.